This video is on the skill of finding and using search terms. Search terms in academic databases do not use sentences or phrases the way that we are accustomed to in the internet search. So, we want to start by listing as many specific words as we can which are related to the topic and the thesis, and then adding as many specific words as we can think of related to each of our possible subpoints for our thesis. And then we want to write synonyms and related words for each of those terms on our brainstormed list. An example thesis can be: tuition increases are necessary to fund improved infrastructure, expanded programs, and student safety. This would be the main idea of tuition increases are necessary, and then the subpoints of improved infrastructure, expanded programs, and student safety. My first list of keywords includes tuition, increase, infrastructure, programs, and safety. Working from that, I know that I need to add at the top college or higher education, because that's an important concept that I didn't yet have on my list of words. We don't want to talk about any tuition or any infrastructure. We want information related to colleges. And so I'm going to add the words college or higher education at the top of my list. I'm also just going to note that infrastructure is the main term from my subpoint 1, programs is the main word from my subpoint 2, and safety is the main word from my subpoint 3. The next thing I'm going to pay attention to is that I want to merge tuition and increase and put those together, because I don't just want to talk about tuition and I don't want to talk about any old thing increasing. I want information about tuition increasing. Also, I'm going to take the word infrastructure and change it for some more precise words. What do I mean by infrastructure? I mean college facilities or science labs or the college campus or building maintenance. That's the kind of expensive stuff that a tuition increase might fund. I'm also going to, instead of programs, write something more specific like college majors or college degrees. And instead of safety, I'm going to write something more specific like cleaning costs and security measures. And then I'm going to take the words just from the first subpoint, college facilities or science labs, etc., and I'm going to put that with my main idea keywords in the advanced search screen of my database. So I'm going to use 3 lines in this case, the first 2 lines for my main idea search, and then the 3rd line for all of the words that go with my first subpoint. And that search, when I clicked on the search button, only returned me 2 articles, neither of which seemed to have anything to do with what I was wanting to discuss. An important thing to realize is that almost always your very first search will fail. But you need to use what you see there to refine the search. Refining your search if you have too few results or results which aren't applicable, that's what happened to us. We had too few and they weren't applicable. We would do things like removing words that are overly specific or combining terms or using suggested terms that the database suggests to us, and then trying again, After a few rounds of that, we might look for help from the librarians. The usual approach is to send them your thesis statement and everything that you've tried so far. Usually what's happening is that you're using search terms which are not in the vocabulary of the database, and it's not that you can't find anything, it's that you don't have the right words to find anything. So keep in mind that you don't want to tell the instructor or the librarian that no sources exist. The sources exist. You just need to use different search terms. You're using the wrong sorts of words, and you need synonyms or perhaps more scientific words or something like that. On the contrary, if it should happen that you have too many results, which I would say would be anything over 200, then you want to do the reverse. Narrow your terminology, add more search lines. The advanced search screens usually give you 3, but you can add another one, and you can add another concept and the synonyms. And you can use the date limiter to the side. So there's various ways you can refine the search. Using some of those tactics, I went from this search screen to this one. You'll see I've removed some of my specific words and combined others. And when I click on search here, I got 134 articles, and at least the first one appears to be right on point of what my paper thesis is about. Something to be aware of is that you're going to need to keep going with this sort of trial and error process until you have enough sources to discuss, not prove, but discuss each of your subpoints. Thank you.